Welcome to the Take It Home podcast, the podcast so bad we really just need to take it home. I am one of your hosts. We are back with a full crew this week. My name is Doc Simmons. You can find me at all social medias at Doc Simmons17. I will give the hot tag to my tag team partner and let him introduce himself.
The Outlaw Zach Hendricks. Find me on all social media brands at Z Hendricks brand. And of course, if you love Doc and I together, look up Country Air with Country Air Official on Facebook and Instagram, or Country Air Brand on Twitter. And I guess we'll give it back to the monstrous return. The one-man riot squad. Used to be Russian, now from Germany, I think.
It doesn't matter where I'm from. What does matter is you can find me on all social media at Gunner Wicks.
Ah, very smooth.
Thank you. In my week away, while I was causing riots, I worked on my transitions.
Oh.
So you're welcome.
Yeah, so when we talk about what we were doing this past weekend, we know what you were doing.
Causing riots.
All right.
Entering smoothly between light surfaces and dark surfaces with glasses on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes, sir.
that was the lovely dulcet tones of our senior referee. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. I'm Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV, # for the ref brand, and Waffles Take It Home podcast, baby.
Yes, yes. Speaking of waffles, I had some for dinner right before this. It was an amazing experience.
Oh, some homemade waffles.
Yep, homemade waffles,
Mhm.
Belgian,
Oh,
from the land of Belgium.
I didn't get no invite.
No, it's like you would have caused a riot of 94.
I mean, I'd check my temper at the door if you gave me some waffles.
Yep, so delicious waffles, beer flowing.
waffle or riot.
Yeah,
Why can't we have both?
waffle and riot. That's your new T-shirt.
Solid
Right
question.
there. You're welcome. Waffle and riot.
Thank you. I'll put that on the idea board.
But peel back the curtain a little bit. We did start off with some technical difficulties on my end, so it took a while for everybody to get in here. But we will go ahead and jump right in it. Perch, let us know our banger of the week.
Ooh, this week's banger of the week. This one hit the spot after a show. Was done with the show at Berwyn Eagles Club the other weekend, and hopped into a car, and this song was already playing. It was a song I used to bang back in the day, and it still bangs just as well as it did back then today. This Is Why I'm Hot by Mims.
Oh,
That is a definite banger. I'm sure we've all had our time with it, and I think it was PS3 at the time, and my brother and I had a nice stereo in the basement, and just bumping that song as good as music got back in that day.
Mims was like a 2-hit wonder because I listened to that and All the Above with T-Pain a lot for like my personal training sessions. It's good. Yeah, that's a classic banger.
Yeah, one of those, like, all the words come back without even having to think about it. And one that you feel. Definitely a good banger.
That's for sure. Yeah, it's amazing that he was at least like a 2-hit wonder. You see so many artists only be one, but he got 2 bangers out of us, or we got 2 bangers out of him. So very appreciative, Mims.
I'll always look upon Mims in a positive light because of it.
All right, so that was our banger of the week. So why don't we get into talking about what we have been watching this week? I can go first. I know I've watched a lot of wrestling. I've watched AEW. I've watched a bunch of New Japan, but the one thing that stuck out the most was a match that WWE posted, a classic. Shelton Benjamin versus Shawn Michaels from Raw. Super kick heard around the world.
I watched that myself.
Such a good match. Like the whole match is good, and then the finish happens.
It's a perfect cherry on top.
Yeah, and it's just young Shelton, and you just watching like, how were you not a world champion?
Yeah.
Like, it's freaking amazing. Yeah, I watched AEW last week. Catching up on New Japan. Watch one of the shows we participated in this past weekend, so I'm sure we'll get to that at some point. But yeah, pretty good weekend of wrestling when you get to top it off with Shelton Benjamin versus Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, now that's a match that I've heard of. I may have caught it several years ago, but not enough where I remember every moment of the match. Can you refresh me when it came to that end? What was Shelton going for? What was his big? I guess what was his big move that he was going?
He was going for, because he did springboard clotheslines back then.
Okay, so a clothesline coming in.
Yep.
At the right time, and that could have been the boom. There goes Shawn. He needed to hit that.
No, and like I definitely like analyzing the match now because I do know that I saw that match live. I do remember I was watching wrestling at that time. I did see that one live. But they teased the super kick the whole match. Shawn is, they're doing the Shelton is the young boy. Shawn is a bit older. Shawn's smarter, but Shelton's just that much more athletic. He's watching for the super kick. He ducks like out of two of them, and then hits Shawn with something big. I can't remember what he hits to get him to like fade away. Quickly jumps out, lines him up for the springboard clothesline. Pop! There it is. Collapses on top of him for the 1, 2, 3.
Ah, that is great. Still rings true after all those years.
Yep. And that was the thing. It was like watching it because I watched it today. The falsies were great. Still thought Shelton was going to win for some reason. I know what the finish is. Like he hit that T-bone suplex. I was like, I don't remember this. It's like this. What? No, the super kick still comes. But,
hell yeah.
Yeah. So that was a highlight of my wrestling watching. Let's go to Gunner. What have you been watching?
Let's see here. I also watched that match on YouTube like yesterday, I think it was. Banger. I watched the WWE documentary on Shawn Michaels in a Diesel. I highly recommend that. That's definitely interesting. All the documentaries are great.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Do you have a comment, Zach?
No, I was just wondering because they have the documentary with Stone Cold, like with USA. I think it's on the USA Network or TNT.
A&E.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those yet. I want to.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if these were like on Peacock or if that was on like cable because I don't have cable.
Oh no, the one I was talking about is on Peacock.
For sure. My bad. I just came off like I had a comment. I'm big Shawn and Diesel guy, so I was like, I gotta watch that.
What else did I watch? I watched some other stuff, I think. The Dark Side of the Ring, Brian Pillman new episode. I watched that today.
I'm gonna watch that after we get off of this meeting.
Another highly recommend that one. Let's see, what did I watch that wasn't just like documentaries and stuff? Oh, I watched Extreme Midget Wrestling.
Okay.
A 2020 show that took place in I think Oklahoma or something. I was bored at work and I don't know why I watched it, but I did. And yeah, it's pretty entertaining stuff.
All right. Did you learn something?
They rely a lot on character work, I noticed. I don't know. I'm sure that's not just a midget thing, but just made me think of how I should bring more character work into my own wrestling. Yeah, I guess that counts as learning something. I was just having a good time watching it, though, to be honest.
That's fine, too. As long as you got something out of it.
Always good to watch as a fan.
Yeah. Um, let's go. Let's just go down the line, or down the line for me. Perch, what have you been watching?
Um, well, first to go off a Gunner's watching of the Dark Side of the Ring, it just hit me randomly today because I remember you brought it up a few weeks ago. How big of a butt munch was Eddie Mansfield? This is the dude who went and told everything to that John Stossel guy.
Yeah.
I think it's a name that people blacklisted back in the day, but I don't know if anyone nowadays has carried it out to knowing who that guy is. But just
I mean, it's one of
reinstates.
those, like, he gained no friends on that episode of Dark Side of the Ring. It was like, for a second I feel bad for you, and then as it comes to the end, it's like, oh no, I don't. No, he probably should have hit you harder.
It's funny to see, especially with that show, and I've got to watch the Pillman one. Thanks for reminding. Um, I like to see who comes out of it. You know, do stories get rehashed? Do they get reopened? Do wounds get reopened? Do we get closure? I really enjoy it. um, but this week, I did catch some of the A&E biography. It's been awesome. Every Sunday night, I think that's been dropping, as well as the collectible show, and I caught a few frames of they were looking for Jerry the King and his memorabilia, and it was cool to see the backstory with him and Andy Kaufman, and the show was great up until they start putting a price on things, and I had to turn it off. I you bring money into the instance or the equation, and I don't want to see that. Get that. It means too much. It means
Yeah,
more than
because some of that stuff's so iconic, right? Like, you can't put a
yeah.
price on it. I
Yeah.
watched a few clips of the Kane and Undertaker ones. I was thinking the same thing.
It's so cringeworthy. No, I can't watch it because the one guy's like, well, I want this. Well, it's like it's uncomfortable to be in the room while that's happening. But it's cool to have a show like that where it does show the history, like you said, the Kane and Undertaker, to see those guys, going on the road and hearing stories from the fans. It's a great show. And then caught some of the Roddy Piper biography, which was great. I just and Macho Man as well. Just having biographies on regular TV for people to watch. I'm sure people are stumbling across it, saying, who are these people? But for anyone who sees it for the first time, I'm sure they get new eyes, and it's fun to think pro wrestling's in a good way.
Is there like a subscription service or something where you can watch that A&E stuff that's not on TV
I mean,
that you guys know of?
I'm sure A&E has an app probably somewhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that they have an app, because I think it's a long show. It may be a full 2 hours, maybe an hour. I don't know, but I mean, it's a full one. And I use Hulu, so through there I get the
Oh, so
Okay.
it is on Hulu. Okay, so I'll watch it there.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's been fun, especially Sunday nights. It's either a pay-per-view night or anytime we get wrestling on Sunday. Back in the day, it was before school started. Now it's before work starts, or the tail end of a wrestling weekend. It's fun to get some wrestling on a Sunday evening.
Yeah.
But the one match I remember from this week, and it was a good one, was the Young Bucks against the Seidel brothers on A&E on A&E on AEW. Too many A's and E's now.
Yeah.
But damn good tag team. Seidel brothers are a good, fluid, cohesive tag unit. They're brothers, against the Young Bucks, who are also brothers who know each other so well, and they're using just the right amount of heel tactics and dirty, hate you kind of stuff. Those damn Young Bucks, and they went low this week to get there, but SCU came out. Frankie Kazarian cut a promo on him. Christopher Daniels ripped on him a little bit. those guys have a great history, and Rick Knox was right there too, right to the side of them. So just to see all those guys representing, it's awesome. And to know that it's Wednesday night on primetime TV, I love it. Pro wrestling, so much fun to watch right now.
Definitely. Okay, and we'll just, like I said, continue on down the line. Mr. Outlaw, what have you been watching this week?
Kind of piggyback up everyone else. Been watching a lot of Dark Side of the Ring. Caught the Brian Pillman Dark Side Part 1 as well. Watched the Moolah one, the Von Erich. So a lot of Dark Side of the Ring. Also been watching a lot of 89 pay-per-views. Back when the New Age Outlaws were a thing. I'm right now currently watching 89 SummerSlam. We're right now opening it up with a European Championship match between D'Lo Brown and Val Venus.
89 or 99?
98. Sorry.
98. Okay.
Sorry.
I was watching some 89 the other day too, some Tommy Wildfire Rich. I was like, wait a second. WCW Saturday Night.
But a couple of things I'm noticing in this match. Didn't know that the European title strap was like a dark green. Didn't notice Val Venus was balding at this time. Just really been on a New Age Outlaw kick. Been really been watching their James Gang, their Voodoo Kin Mafia, and their what they've done in WWE. Just so a lot of that. Watched NWA Power. Watched AEW Dark and Elevation, and I watched the 500th episode of Ring of Honor where they had Jay Lethal wrestle Jonathan Gresham for the Pure title. That was a banger. The finish was great. They had Jay just goading him into getting rope break after rope break after rope break, and Jonathan Gresham catching him in a pin. Beautiful finish. And then the Briscoes go at it. So really good, a lot of good wrestling. I didn't see it, but I saw the result. Tony Deppen doing his thing with Ring of Honor. I was asking Val, I'm like, is he signed? And we looked it up, and just his character work. He even posted on his social media if you check it out. Hey, Ring of Honor, an independent wrestler has your title. Come get it back.
Nice. Stand up for the indies, baby.
Yes, sir. And we that's a guy we've been on shows with freelance, and I'm pretty sure Perch has shared the locker with many of occasions.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not gonna. I keep forgetting his name. The dude who punched that reporter. What's his name again?
Dr. Death.
Dr. Death.
Steve Williams.
Yeah, we always get when you have time, look up a YouTube clip. There's another guy trying to go about the business, complain about not getting paid money, and he's just reaming him live on that TV like it's a talk show, saying you ain't getting paid because you ain't worth money. I just going on this dude, just giving him the business. So just look up him. I don't know who the wrestler is, but I'm pretty sure if you YouTube Dr. Depp Steve Williams show or something, you'll be able to find it. It's a good clip.
Nice. Yeah, what a life that man has led.
Dr. D. David Schultz was him. Steve Williams was the All-American from Oklahoma.
Ah, there we go.
Yep.
Steve Schultz. There you go.
Is that Stone Cold shoot name? Steve Williams?
Yeah, Steve Williams.
That's why it was on my mind.
Huh.
Yep. But there was Dr. Death as well, and he was a killer back in the day. He was the one who got messed up in the Brawl for All, where the winner was going to Steve Austin.
That's who I'm confusing it with. Yep.
That was probably right in Zach's 98 Raw too, right in that era.
Because that Dark Side of the Ring has been popping up for me a lot, so that's probably why I had him on the mind.
Yeah, Perch. I just watched the 98 Mania where Bart Gunn gets laid out by Butter.
Yeah, there you go. That intertwines with everything we were just talking about. Little Dark Side of the Ring, Dr. Death Steve Williams, mentioning the Dr. D. David Schultz punch in the face to John Stossel. Eddie Mansfield narking on everybody back then.
Watching that this week. I'm going into season 2 of what I haven't watched already of Dark Side of the Ring. So, spoiler of what I'm watching next week. What I say I'm watching the next week, Dark Side of the Ring season 2.
There we go. All right.
I kind of feel like I'm in the mood to slap a reporter now.
Probably we don't have enough reporters at our shows.
No. Every once in a great while, they'll have a crew at camp. It's happened like twice since I've been there. A couple news people. Maybe if I slap one of those, my stock will go up a little bit.
Hey, maybe.
We should just have Gunner in that back room, just putting on gear, all disgruntled. Have it, like, you know, come out of the room, half hour into these people being there, all mad. This dude lives back there, and he's all pissed off.
You haven't fed him in like 3 days.
Live the gimmick, man.
That would be great.
Like, we'll ask Frank, see what he says. But all right. Let's go ahead and move on. We had a very full weekend of wrestling. Let's go ahead and talk about it. But let's start with the one-man riot squad, Gunnar Wicks.
Good choice. I did not have a full weekend of wrestling. I saw all the cool stuff you guys did online. I'm excited to hear about it, but all I did was go to a wedding this weekend, which zero wrestling was involved.
What type of wedding is that?
I know, right?
Come on, let's put a guy through a table at a wedding. You couldn't have done anything better.
They had social distancing rules. It was lame. I couldn't get in close enough to make a kill, so just had to sit there.
Let's sit there plotting murder.
Yeah.
The one-man riot squad respects social distance.
He will murder you, but only
if it's safe to do so.
So yeah. Don't want people getting sick or anything.
I murder you safely.
Mm-hmm. What more could you ask for? All right. Let's just go ahead and go with let's go with Zach.
Yes, sir. We had FTW Friday. They have a brand new venue out in Waterloo. Really big crowd. Sold out. I got to have the honor of being in the main event, working a man I really respect. First time ever working Rough Crossing. I thought the match went well. There are some things that I'm not happy on my end, as in I lost my 151 U.S. Highway Heavyweight Championship. You know, you win some, you lose some. Rough Crossing was the better man that day. And I'll touch on the Saturday when I'll let you talk about your Friday, Doc, and then I think me, you, Perch, can all talk about our Saturdays together.
Okay. I'll talk about my Friday then. Yes, Friday, I too was at Frozen Thunder Wrestling in Waterloo. It was me versus the Lucha Prince, Juan Hernandez. I challenged him for the Cruiserweight Cup because he beat me in the finals of the Gauntlet last time we wrestled. He didn't give me the shot. He said if I beat him that night, he'd give me a shot next show. So I did what the GOAT does, hit a very smooth black slide out of nowhere to get the 1, 2, 3. I think it went pretty well, hard hitting, some good stuff as you would expect from me and Juan. And at the end, I get my shot next time. What more could I want?
Unless I somehow finagle and keep pitching a match against those new Frozen Feud champions.
Yeah, you know, those tag team titles also look good and very appealing. So keep an eye out for Frozen Thunder Wrestling to see what your mama's favorite tag team has in store coming up.
Your mama's favorite tag team would look good with not one but being champs.
Yep.
And then all right, we'll go on to Saturday and we'll let Perch finish it off. I'll start Saturday.
Let me get in one day in there real quick.
Oh, wait,
you just gonna skip over Perch's Friday?
I didn't know I thought he had a my bad.
Word up, homies. So AAW had their their Alive series. This actually aired, I think, Saturday. But since you guys had other shows going on, this was a 2-show week for me, so we'll take it right here. Saturday, AAW Live had a banger. They've been airing on Twitch, which is a nice, easy spot to see it. I think 7:30, 7:05, right in that range. And the first match I had on that show was Gringo Loco and RS against Dante Leon and Travis Titan. And those are some good up and comers. And right as the match started, the Rico and Axel Rico came out and made it a 3-way tag. So naturally, we had ourselves a 6-person 3-way tag elimination match. And it was pretty cool, just wild chaos and some great moves, good maneuvers. Crazy finish to the end. I've never seen anything like it before. But certainly a good match to start. And the main event that night was a heavyweight title match between Mance Warner, the champ, and ACH, the top contender. Now ACH has had some really good matches leading up into this one with AAW. Between him and Fred Yehai, really seeing who's going to be the better man coming out of it, and great wrestling styles. But in this match, it was more of a fight. He had to bring the fight to the champion, and Mance showed just why he's the champ and what it takes, and he got busted open, and a very hard hitting affair. They left everything on the line, and everyone was exhausted. I think it went about 20 plus minutes, and ended with Mance retaining the championship. But one of those cool main event moments and matches where you learn a lot being inside that kind of an environment. You can't replicate a rep like that or an experience like that. It's what we practice to play, and when we're able to play for fans live, it's just a great experience. So yeah, that was the big show that aired on Saturday on my end. But then to tell us more about the rest of the Saturday and the live show in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we'll have the tag team that kicked off the event tell us a thing or two.
Yes. So Saturday was Zello Pro Wrestling's WrestleFest at Turner Hall. It was Country Air's return to Zello Pro. I was happy that they gave us the invite back, and we challenged the Bang Bros to get revenge for the loss we took last time. I think it was a much better showing for your mama's favorite tag team. We came out hard hitting and put those bros in their place. What do you think, Zach?
I think, our debut, with anyone's debut, we first time ever, we didn't know exactly what the Bang Bros were about. They are a great tag team nonetheless. They hit hard, they're high flying, they work really well as a team. And this time we showed that we weren't there to have fun. We were here to get back what was ours, and that was to prove that why your mama's favorite tag team is the best tag team. And we did that with getting a hot opener, I would say. We got to kick off the show, and we got to kick off the end of the match with our hands in the air.
Yep. I think it really set the tone for the night for what was going to be a very good show that Zello put on. Perch, why don't you tell them about your experience?
Man, what an experience. Every weekend is different. Every show is different. Every venue is different. But when it comes to Turner Hall Ballroom in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that strikes a different chord. Growing up in Milwaukee and always living here, I've always loved going downtown for the big event. whether it's a Bucks game or a Admirals game or whatever at the Bradley Center or a concert, or go to a show or a concert. Remember seeing Ring of Honor at Turner Hall Ballroom and standing, at the back of the house watching everything that was happening. It was so much fun. Taking it all in as a fan, to fast forward a couple of years and to have the experience to be in there and to know that our day of work is going to be inside Turner Hall. It's extra special. So, Zello Pro was an awesome show. There were 9 matches on the card. I ended up having 5 out of them. And 3 of them were girls matches. Lots of women tag or women's matches. There were no tags. There was a women's triple threat match to decide the number 1 contender. And there were 2 singled matches. Great to have Sierra there. That was a moment that I really took in. Sierra against Heather Reckless. To be in the ring to see Sierra come down was very cool. I got, a full jolt of. We all feel different emotions when it comes to a show, and the butterflies feeling and the nervousness, but I turn it to adrenaline, as I imagine we all do when it comes to performing. So, feeling that entrance, it got me jacked up on adrenaline to perform here. I remember seeing Stacy Shadows against Sierra at that venue, and it was a long time ago. So to come full circle and to be in there and to have a match with Sierra, it's just, more of those inspirational moments. Keeps motivation going, keeps the passion going. It was wonderful. And then Joey Chet had a damn good match. That was fun. They brought some beers out, so they got to do it cheers. Joey kicked him right in the gut to start the match. There was one beer can laying right in the kind of middle of the ring, so I grabbed it, and I had one move to do, and it was to get it out of the ring. I saw it, and I'm like, well, I got one flash to do it because they're running out to the other corner over there, so I got to get them out. So I got one move here. So I took the can, reached through the ropes, and I sort of lifted up as I dropped it. And that beer can did not land perfectly, straight up. It did not tip, did not spill. I dropped it from about a 8-9 foot distance, and it landed it perfectly.
If you ever wanted to prove you're from Wisconsin,
yeah,
like,
it's the drop.
Don't spill beer even when dropping it from a 9 foot height.
That was about 9 feet. And almost got my head taken off by a shovel in there. So
I saw that.
Cat-like reflexes. I learned after last week, flying objects in the ring, be on guard at all times.
Yep.
We learn our lessons, and sometimes you learn the hard way. And in this week, we came prepared. So it was a great time, and a big ladder match at the end too, which was pretty cool. One of my favorite visions of all time is when the WCW and NWA would do the big cage matches. And I remember one in particular was at least a double cage, maybe a triple cage. But on top of that cage, someone had to climb up on a big ladder. And none other than Tommy Young took that ladder run. So in my real life, I deal with ladders when it comes to winter time. So when I was able to see that Tommy Young is the ladder guy, when it came to those moments, someone's got to do it. He's the guy. I couldn't have been more thrilled to have the opportunity. So when it came to hanging that belt up on the ladder, I took that honor with pride. And that was one of my favorite moments. But a cool moment that came in that night too was in that women's triple threat. Blair Onyx had a cool submission where she got the heads of Missa Kate and Hyann with kind of her back stretched and in a spider lock.
That double Muda lock.
Yeah, that double move. I mean, it was just, damn, it was cool. It looked great. Devastating too. Those girls were trapped. There's no way to go. I thought for sure one of them was going to tap. Did all I could to relay, and if one of them was going to tap, I was there to let them know. But nope, they fought out of it. Put on a damn good show.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Shout out to everybody at Zello. Shout out to all the performers, the refs, the photographers. It was great to see Beezy and 3 Count again.
Oh, BZ 3 Count. We had the Unicorns brothers there.
Yep. All
Go
the
Blaze.
unicorn.
Smart Mind.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Good to have all those guys there. Shout out to them. You can check out the show on Fight TV. Go see your mama's favorite tag team and the best ref out there do our thing. And all your Wisconsin favorites, Sierra, Joey, Wisconsin represented well. But if we are done talking about what we did this past weekend, we can go ahead and go into the question I posed to the crew. It was a big weekend for us, so I would be very interested to hear what are your pre-match rituals. Let's start with my very sexy tag partner, Zach Hendricks.
Yes, sir. So pre-match rituals for me is on the way to the show when I pack my gear bag, I always gotta make sure I have a pair of wrestling socks. It's usually either a pair of Shawn Michaels or Razor Ramon, but I do not feel right without wearing a pair of wrestling socks in my matches. So those are that's a must for me. On the way, I like to stop at a Quick Trip and get myself a nice yellow Red Bull. To go to for me is a nice yellow small Red Bull to get myself a little bit more energy. And right before I go and hit those curtains and do what I do best, I like to get my hair nice and soaked. I like to drop down to one knee. I like to say a prayer for me and everyone else who's in that match. If it's the ref, my opponents, I always like to say a nice prayer to even though I'm going to hurt these guys, I want them to come out still being able to work the next day. So always a nice pre-match ritual is just dropping down to a knee and saying a nice little prayer.
Okay.
I guess I'll give it off to my tag partner, Doc.
All right. So for me, my beverage of choice pre-match is a mango vitamin water. If it's a snack, I enjoy a pack of Micanites before a match. I usually get dressed real early and start stretching real early because I plan on doing a lot of things to hurt my opponent and hurt myself. So making sure that everything's nice and limber is super important to me. Before that, I usually wait until almost the last minute to start taping up my hands. That's always the last thing I do. Just take a moment to get focused. I start getting a little limber. I usually do a couple minutes of shadow right before we go out, some shadow boxing to get my mind right, get my form right, make sure everything's coming out smooth. I try to do some vocal fry because I've lost my voice at these shows a bunch, and that stuff sucks. I also do some dysfunction screams. Anybody who ever has worked with dis knows what those are. Because like, hey, I'm not sure if I'm vocal frying right, but that feels right, so I do that too. Yep, and I usually take a little moment right before we hit those curtains to clear my mind, right before I explode out and show them what the GOAT's all about. All right, and that's it for me. Why don't we pass it off to the Riot Squad?
Let's see here. I like to be hydrated before my matches, so I also have sometimes it's a body armor, sometimes Gatorade, sometimes vitamin water, sometimes just straight up water. Something that gets some fluids in me, just because I always feel like I perform better right before I go out, and I feel like I have to piss my pants, which is every time. It really creates that sense of urgency in the ring, you know. Something that's probably quite obvious, a pre-match ritual, is paint my face. It gets me in the right mindset to be doing what I'm about to do. Being in the ring is, let's see, what's a good way to word this? I act very different than I do in my everyday life. So painting the face is kind of almost feels like a bit of a like religious experience almost, in a sense. It gets the mind right, the soul right. Make sure I'm ready to go out there and kick ass. And I also really like being left alone when I do that. I have some people like try to talk to me or bother me when I'm painting my face, and I hate it. Can't focus, can't concentrate. Like I just need silence and just gotta do what I gotta do. Another one, stretching for sure. Stretching is very important so I don't go hurt myself like I do sometimes. Want to stay nice and limber so I can smack people's faces off. Just being left alone in general is another pre-match ritual.
You really went over this. Tired of people bothering me.
Like, I don't know, it takes a lot of like effort and like mental hula hoops I have to jump through to get in the right frame of mind. And I've noticed that when I'm in the right mind state, my matches and performances are much, much better than when something's throwing me off. And it takes a lot to get there. So I just like to kind of be left alone, go over, the match in my head, envision what I want to do, the kind of presence I want to give, and then go out there and do it. And then one more thing. And then before, usually when my music gets queued up, got about 10 seconds before like the drop happens, I can go out there and do my thing. I do this weird thing that's probably I do not advocate. It's probably mentally unhealthy, but usually like anytime I hear kind of like negativity surrounding myself or what other people may think of me as a performer or a wrestler, whether they're joking around or serious, like I take those things and I implant them in my brain. And right before I go out, that's like all I think about. And it gives me the motivation and the anger and the grit to go out there and do what I got to do.
Yeah, go out there, prove them wrong.
Yep. 100%.
All right. And for the last but not least, let's pass it off to our head official.
Well, you mentioned this one, and I was thrilled because if there's anything that I like, it's a routine, and especially when it comes to a show day, there's certain show day routines that I like to get done. Whether that means I wake up and I've got a full morning to get it done, or in many instances, which we've covered on this show, maybe it's a half hour that you have to get it done.
Get it done in the car on the way to the show.
Yeah, you get it done. You find your way. But the biggest thing that I find is got to find that peace, got to find that island, you got to find that own mind state where you can do what you do best. And that means, to me, kind of focusing myself, whether it comes with stretching. I like to drink water and coffee. That's it. Black coffee and water throughout a show day. That's all I need. It's all I like. Most days too, whether it's a show day or not, but lots of it, especially more water than anything to stay hydrated. Aquafina is always good. Stone Creek is about my favorite coffee in the world. We had Collectivo from Milwaukee at Turner Hall for coffee. That was good. For a guy who likes straight black coffee, that's about as good as it gets too. But that's really about it. Give me some water, coffee. I like to take a chair. Give me a chair, just one chair. I put my backpack and gear bag on it. As a referee, I come from long lines of seeing umpires getting dressed in their cars during baseball tournaments, and I'm not above it. I'll do the same just to have that effect. Oh, that's the referee just driving in up from out of town, and it's something I like to do to get in touch as well. But stretching and saying a prayer as well. Not just a prayer, but several prayers throughout the day is always good. I like to pray for all the good things and the moments that we have, because it could all be gone just like that. So I'd like to at least take in a moment where I can enjoy whatever we're doing, no matter, again, what venue we're at, what show we're at, what promotion, to at least take that moment and reflect upon where we were, say 5 years ago, where we're at today, and where we want to go. So taking a few moments to myself before every show, I love, and that gets me in the right mind state to hit that curtain and go guns a-blazing. It's a different feeling.
Good. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing something so personal. No, I mean, Gunner made it seem like, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. Leave by myself.
Yeah, and everyone does have different moments, and as a wrestler, Gunner has to make himself Gunner, a physical transformation, a mental, a physical, emotional transformation. There's different coal going into that steam engine to get it roaring. But again, when you hit that curtain, that's our product, that's our finish, that's what we do. We are here to do a job because we are damn good at it, and that's what we're going to do and put on a show for the fans. And that's what it's all about, is to do our best every single night to give the fans the most for their money, their time, their enjoyment. And yeah, it's funny because we all have different routines, and as a ref, I've usually got about 100 jobs that I'm doing. Give me a good pair of good footwear, because I'm going to be burning about 100 miles on me throughout the day.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a ton of things to do show day, and trying to find those moments to get yourself mentally ready for what you actually have to do can be a very actual stressful part of the wrestling day.
Yeah, it's good to have a routine. And lately I've been listening to give me a Grateful Dead concert on the ride in. Type in any date, literally from the past up until 95, 30 years. You could find a show from any date. And if they didn't play, well, chances are they played the next day or that weekend from some year. So it's my go-to, and I'll let a show play from usually going to the show all the way till midnight, 2 a.m. when we're done, and partying after.
For as physical as wrestling is, it's definitely like 100% a mental game.
Yeah.
It's all about like how you think, how you prepare. Usually with like the pre-match ritual stuff, like oftentimes how well things go pre-match is how well the match will go.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, from my experiences, if I'm having a bad time before the match starts, once the match starts, I'm going to probably still be having a bad time. But if I can get in the right frame of mind and be prepared, then it usually goes pretty well. And like, you don't want to go out there, like, speaking of like getting character, like, as much as it might be, or people might say, like, treat it as a character, it's really like, it can't be a character. Like, you have to go out there 100% believing in like who you are, what you are, what you're about. And if you don't, I think the fans can easily see right through that. So like one of the many reasons I like to be kind of left alone beforehand is just to get in that mental state. 'Cause I don't want to go out there like doubting who I am when I'm out there. Like I want to be 100% bought into not my character, but bought into myself. Like going out there to be a fucking monster pro wrestler, not just playing a monster pro wrestler.
Yeah.
So like, it's a weird thing, man.
It makes sense.
It's the realest thing it could ever be, and just like you said, you're not playing a character, and the best we can do is when we aren't. And yeah, it's funny because you can joke about it and say, if you're like a guy like Gunnar Wicks, say you're working at the office, it's an awkward position, but if Gunnar Wicks really was at the office, he would cause a pure riot. So think about that guy standing next to you. Yeah, next time I won't be the guy standing next to Gunnar Wicks when he's getting into his zone.
Yeah.
Because for real, it the more it is that real is exactly what it is.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't think Gunnar Wicks, Doc Simmons, Zach Hendricks would be very welcomed at most jobs.
No, sir. Some reporters would get slapped.
A lot of people would get kicked in the face. There'd be a lot more whiskey everywhere. So I think it's probably a good thing. All right.
If you're looking to book us for office parties, hit us up.
Yeah. It's like we're like Gunner's already working birthday parties. I'm sure we can figure out something for an office party rate.
Yep, this weekend, first birthday party. Quite excited.
Ooh, yeah, we will definitely be talking about that next week. Hope you eat lots of cake.
Well, speaking of this weekend, we might as well talk about what's coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Zing.
All right. So let's start with Gunner, since you've already kind of talked about what you've got coming up.
Yep. So this weekend, quite a busy Saturday for myself. I am booked for a birthday party. Gonna go eat a lot of cake, probably be mean to some 8-year-old kids, and then drive straight from there to the Elks Lodge in Waukesha, where I'm taking on Chucky Bates in the first round of the BCW heavyweight title tournament. Been waiting a long time now to get my hands on Chucky, and it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that one. Perch, why don't you let us know what you got coming up this weekend?
We've got things kicking off Friday night at AAW on Fight TV. The big pay-per-view. The Alive series has been building up to a pay-per-view. Take No Prisoners this Friday night, 7:30. Going to be some good matches. Mance Warner, champion, takes on Fred Yehai for the heavyweight championship. That's been the good blood feud between the two of them. So looking forward to seeing how that one shapes up. And I think we'll see Sky there as well, taking on AK-47. So that should be a good matchup. Right. And then Saturday, we've got Brew City Wrestling back at the Elks Lodge, baby.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a while since you've been there.
Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. Like we were saying, every show, no matter where it is, you take that moment to take it all in, because you never know what happens the next day. It's a blessing every time we're able to get inside the ring, and it's even more a blessing when we're able to perform at home. So yeah, this Saturday, Elks Lodge, that's going to be great.
Righty, and pass it off to my tag team partner last. Let them know what we got planned this week.
Actually, I think Doc and I have a weekend off, but if Bruce City's in town, You might have to
We
go
might
talk
have to.
about these suspensions being lifted.
Yep, we'll have to. So yes, what we got coming up this week is a very, very nice long talk with Frank.
Yeah, talking about maybe I don't know what's gonna be coming out of pocket, but maybe a TV replacement. But I don't know. I know we're not on any shows. Doesn't mean we might not show up to a show.
Yep. So keep your eyes out for where Country Air might pop up this weekend.
I mean, there were some shows down in Illinois that we're talking about having us come down May 8th. Like,
Yeah,
never know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll figure it out. But keep your eye out. Country Air making noise this weekend somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. And if that's it for our weekends, we can go ahead and move on to our last segment if Gunner has a question.
Do so. What is like? Just get done with the match somewhere, driving back home, long journey. What is your go-to place to get food? Your go-to food place on the road. I'll go first to give you guys some time to think. Mine is Quick Trip. Just about every time after a match driving home, go to Quick Trip, see what's cooking in the little stand where they got the hot food, eye some stuff up. If there's something I like, I get it. If not, usually get some like beef sticks and cheese are my go-to. Eat a lot of beef, a lot of cheese, and usually like vitamin water, something like that. Or if it's a particularly long drive home, maybe an energy drink.
All right. I think Quick Trip is the answer for most Northern Midwest wrestlers. Mostly because it's open.
It's a way of life, man. Quick Trip.
Yeah.
God
Gotta love
bless.
Quick Trip. Yeah. So for me, it is I guess 1A would be Quick Trip. When we have shows at the Elks, if we get out early enough, I'll go to Oscars across the street.
Oh, yes, that's a good place.
Yep.
I had one of their like cheese curd burgers, I think it was not too long ago. Good stuff.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. That sounds like a heart attack. That sounds like something I want.
I once ordered Oscars at the drive-through, and they gave me my shake first. And by the time they gave me my burger, the shake was already gone, and I had them throw the cup away for me.
Well, that's very nice.
Great place. That was awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, usually, burger. I've been trying to stay away from fries, but I'll usually get a shake of something or a root beer. But if not there, Taco Bell is usually the go-to because they too are usually open late. Just a couple of regular soft tacos, and I'm a happy man. Also with a root beer.
Sir, I would say piggyback. Yeah, Quick Trip is definitely a go-to. I'm a big fan. As much as I like my whiskey, I do enjoy a nice fountain drink like a Pepsi or Mountain Dew after a nice cold match. If I'm feeling well. Taco Bell is always a nice one. Get a nice quesadilla. But I mean, when I think of like after meals, especially like with the Elks Lodge coming up in BCW, there's been plenty of times where I've met all the brothers at George Webb's, and we've sat there after, watched Gunner order 3 meals for himself.
I was just gonna ask if that was you I was with that one time.
Yeah, we've had some good stories, but yeah, especially like when you have like you have a good carload. I would say like a diner that you can sit inside. George Webb's is good. If you're in Indiana, I think a couple of times Doc and I we even had Gunner and Mav in the car. Indiana Steak and Shake's always a good spot to hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Also, how could I forget? Vanguard.
Vanguard is the spot when it's open to go to.
Yeah.
Jim Hollywood just had a birthday, so shout out to Jim Hollywood. Hope he had a great birthday, but always takes care of the brothers. And if you ever have a chance, I know Doc, you live far, but Monday night, Their wings are phenomenal.
Yeah, I always see posts about them. I'm gonna have to find my way out there one of these Mondays.
Sorry,
I,
Perch.
s-
What's
I
yours?
still have not had a chance to go there yet.
Oh, to the
On the
Vanguard.
bucket list. Yep.
We'll get you there. You'll probably get your sweet silver jacket before me.
And Vanguard is the spot in Milwaukee for after parties. The best. No matter what show is going on, we would have had ourselves a rager this weekend. But the way the world is right now, we pray every day that they'll be back running fully and open someday soon. It's so much fun. But I would say my go-to afterwards is in a pinch to go off of Gunners. If we're going quick trip, I'll go quick trip. I'll generally go where the car goes. um, but if we're going a quick trip or a gas station, 7-Eleven would be my go-to. I'm all for a quick trip, but I've been there a billion times. I like to find a 7-Eleven and get a liquid death. Nice canned water, 16-ounce canned water, not the sparkling kind, just straight spring water, and a Pop-Tart. Nice pretzel kind if they have them. They're newer, but they're all right. S'mores are good too, but I've had a lot of those in my day. So give me a Pop-Tart and a liquid death from 7-Eleven, or Quick Trip. I'll just hit the water. That's it. And maybe a Pop-Tart in there too. But nothing better than a Waffle House visit if you can. If Waffle House is open 24/7, I wouldn't mind going before and after the event if time allows, especially after. Definitely that diner feel where you go and get whatever. You can get your meal, whatever you want, and then put 2 waffles on top of it. It's the way to go. One of my favorite after meals was a nice family dinner we had at Freddy's down in St. Louis.
Yeah.
That was good. I think it was
Yeah.
like a steak burger or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love going
Steak burger spot. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, next time we go down to that area, we'll definitely stop there again. That was a good one.
and Raisin Cane's is the other spot.
Yep.
Good mid meal, after meal. Yeah,
3 times a day meal. Yeah, if there's Raising Cane's, we doing that breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, Wawa.
Wawa, that's another one. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
So Perch,
Yeah.
wait, is a liquid death, is that water? Wait, I'm sorry, what's liquid death?
Yeah, it's water. The 16-ounce can. Find them at 7-Eleven. That's it. Can't find it anywhere else. So it's usually a out of state thing. Find a 7-Eleven. There's a lot of imitation 7-Elevens around here. Don't let them fool you. I'm with Gunner. I still back quick trips 100%. 100%. But when it comes to the road, that's almost where like I'm all right straying away from it once in a while.
Yeah, no, I understand. We are on the road a lot, and sometimes you want that variety. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, I got love for Quick Trip, but I do want some other things every once in a while. So that's where your Taco Bells and your Oscars come in clutch. Your Raising Cane's, your Waffle House, Wawa when you get somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man, give me some decaf coffee too.
Oh yeah. And if it's a drive, a drive. Lots more coffee. I drink a lot more coffee now because I drive way too much.
Damn good question, G.
Yeah. Lot of ritual questions today, before and after. So continuity, we're getting there.
Mm.
It's almost like we were taught to tell a story or something.
Yeah, weird how that works out.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to discuss?
I guess small little thing. If you haven't already, I know Gunner has a YouTube channel. Go like, subscribe to him. Doc and I have a country air YouTube channel. Go like and subscribe there. I don't think we ever plug our YouTube channels, but please go
Oh,
check
yeah.
out our YouTube channels as well.
Good idea.
Yeah.
And wrestling with wrestling with unicorns, still posting pics from tons of shows, and you can see random clips of shows that I was in as well. So
Yeah, I know he's got a huge log of stuff that he got to work to try to put out. But shout out to him. He's been really like putting in the work lately and has been everywhere, and we appreciate it.
Yo,
Mhm.
I watched the David Arquette Cannot Die documentary yesterday again. And I forgot to mention that, but David Arquette was rocking a Wrestling with Unicorns t-shirt.
All right.
That's kinda cool. Like I looked and I was like, wait, he's rocking a Wrestling with Unicorns shirt. Like that was kind of cool to see.
Nice. I
Yeah.
just recently added that to my watch list on Hulu, so I'll be watching that too pretty soon.
So you will enjoy it.
Oh, it's good. It's good, especially being in the business. It's a good watch.
Okay. I'll have to check that one too. Okay. And on that note, fellas, I think we'll go ahead.
Oh, Bonesaw's ready. Had to get that in there.
Okay.
It was the anniversary.
Fair.
Is it today?
Yeah, today or yesterday. Yep.
What a great movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
The last of the great superhero movies.
Yeah, that's one way to think about it. Okay, I think that is the perfect place to take it home. This has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. 1.
Yeah.